So we watched Steiner live. I watched that session live.
Really?
Me, Martin Pashov, and Donnie Schenkel.
2008?
Yeah,
No, I wasn't even
in the Cal Strength gym.
Oh, that's
like,
insane.
We
That's
probably should have been
insane.
working, but we watched that,
Right.
and we watched the 105s. And
105's 2008. Aram now.
it was the I've never seen a
Wow.
a competition where I watched Martin and Donnie give up on weightlifting after watching that session.
Yeah.
They watched it.
They
and
watched Aram now.
We watched Aram now, and we were like, it was. You watch it the first time, and you see the mix. It was like Klokov, Lapikov, Aram now, and this battle, and you're like, this Aram now dude just murdered everybody. It was
Wiped
like
the floor with them.
Yeah,
Could've
no
lifted
one
more.
saw him coming, and 200, 236, and every lift, the 236, he
Was
just
so
like
easy,
stood
so
up and
natural.
jerked it. Like
It looked like it could have done 245.
yeah, the three of us sat there, and afterward, I was just like super excited, and they
I mean, if
both,
Ilya was good,
yeah,
I mean,
that would have been the battle. If we ever had gotten a battle,
was
an Aram
10
now,
kilos ahead in the snatch
an Aram now Ilya battle.
at 105. Yeah.
I'll say
Ilya,
something about
President's Cup.
an
Yeah.
Ilya battle that I think we missed out on, unfortunately.
Okay, yeah.
But anyways, they both watched it, and they both were just like, we quit. Like,
Yeah.
Martin was like, I can't do a 200 kilo snatch.
No. I'm
And
trying
Donnie-
my best to get to like
Donnie was
180.
like, we're fucked. Like, there's no way we could beat these guys,
No.
Not that they were ever really going to, but
But
it
you
was
got to
just
try
like,
and. It's a moment when you believe it.
yeah, it's so demoralizing to watch this. And then we see the Steiner thing, and you're just like, you watch that, and you were just like, we have to train right now.
Yeah.
I mean, we just walked around the cubicle and started lifting,
Yeah.
but it was like, holy shit, that was inspiring.
It's like that guy just hit a 10 kilo PR because
Yeah.
he wanted it.
Yeah, he
So
had to
maybe I
win.
can make these numbers.
Yeah.
If I have that belief
Yeah.
and that desire.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I didn't watch any of that Olympics.
Oh yeah, it was that was crazy to see it, because like a social media, you might have. I mean, obviously you come in after you have never. It's just
Yeah.
on the culture, right?
Yeah.
It exists in the world now, so you're gonna see it. But like that first time, that moment was just like unbelievable. Like, I remember watching Demos in 2004, like waiting for him to make that third clean and jerk, and then he let me down. I told him that.
That's
in
crazy
person.
that you watched that live.
Yeah.
And you knew the stakes.
Oh yeah, for sure. I knew everything about it leading
Yeah,
up to
yeah.
it. Like, and it was like, like all of it was like, if he wins this fourth, how massive. Like, it was just like, this makes, like, this is like the biggest
So
thing.
you
in
were weightlifting in 2004.
Yeah.
What was your first year?
99.
So you watched 2000 Olympics.
Yeah, that was hard to find. The 2000 Olympics
Really?
I had to watch on TV.
Sydney, yeah.
And I remember seeing Tavakoli win. And I remember
Who was he?
So Tavakoli was the Iranian who had done like 0 meets internationally.
Yeah, yeah.
I think he might have done a Junior Worlds. And out of nowhere, he's just like, we'll put this guy in the team. And he did, I want to say he did 190, 232 or something, 235 to win it. And then
At what?
105.
Yeah, okay.
And then Alan Tsagayev, the Bulgarian,
Oh, he's so good.
he takes a 235 clean and jerk and misses
Yeah.
it, makes the jerk and misses it behind.
Yeah.
In like some weird way, like never missed behind before, and just
Right,
suddenly
right.
drops it. But yeah, I remember seeing a lot of that.
Yeah.
That was Boevsky and Markov.
Yep.
It was like,
It was Razadeh's first gold.
yeah, Razazadeh.
It was
It's a different time, Chemerkin.
Oleg Perepachenov
Yeah,
would have been in there.
Chemerkin taking the shot at 272.
Was that in 2000
Yeah, it was
Olympics?
2000. Yeah,
Was it?
yeah. And it was like,
What, after Razadeh had won? Well, not. He wouldn't have.
yeah,
We didn't know he won, but
he tried it. He was like, that was
that
that was
cool?
the lift he needed to win.
that's a crazy.
And it was like, oh shit, we're gonna
Yeah.
get a 600, because like that was one of those like, is 600 pounds ever gonna happen?
Yeah, yeah.
And here's a guy who calls for it. Like,
Yeah,
what
he
a
had to,
wild
yeah.
deal.
Yeah, it's funny because like the first competition I actually was like, I'm going to tune in to watch this was the 2013 World Championships.
Yeah,
So much later.
Yeah.
It was Poland.
yeah.
And I
Poland.
remember tuning in and seeing Lu hit the 176.
Yeah, oh man, that was
Just being
big.
blown away. And I think that was the first year I properly started doing weightlifting. I'd been going to the gym for 7, 8, 10, probably maybe 10 years
Yeah.
at that point, but I hadn't done any weightlifting until like 2012, 13. It takes a few months and then you're engaged and like, I want to see how the pros do it.
Yeah.
You watch a couple of video. I remember watching it and being like, where's John North? Because, you know, when you're really early in.
Yeah,
and
you
like,
think they're the big
I just go on
things, yeah.
YouTube and I'm like, John North is, and he's saying I'm the champ, I'm the best 94. So I was like, and then the world champs come and he wasn't there. And I was like, where's John? I was really confused and I had no one could explain this stuff to me.
Yeah.
I didn't understand what Pan Am meant.
Yeah, yeah.
And he got on the Pan Am team like once or something.
Yeah.
But I thought he was like one of the best. But I also knew his numbers.
Yeah.
So I knew he'd done the 66.
Kind of
and then when I saw
figure,
Lou
like,
do
okay.
176, I was just like,
three
what?
weight classes lighter.
yeah,
Yeah.
what's going on? Like, what's happening, John?
That's fun.
Yeah.
Where are you? Where's he at? Yeah.
But 2014 Worlds was the first. I remember where I was in the university gym, and we had like plyometrics boxes that people would jump on. And I brought my laptop in, and I put it on there,
Yeah.
faced it towards the platforms, and we would lift, and then we'd
watch.
just go over and watch.
That's awesome.
And there was like, you know, hundreds of other students who were just trying to like use the equipment, and we were just like,
Yeah. Just,
no, we
own this.
Yeah, we own this weightlifting area. I think some people hated us.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, watching that, I mean, there were some sessions there. The 85 session was just unreal. You know, guys like Markov, Ivan Markov,
Yeah.
who you just forget now. Or
There's a video of Ivan Markov that Markov sent to us in Cal Strength into Martine. And it was him doing like a 220 clean and jerk. It was like a terrible cell phone video.
Yeah.
And then he said, I front squatted 280 as well.
I could believe it.
And it was just like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what? And yeah, you're just like, yeah, just insane.
I loved the way that Ivan Markov moved. And that was the era of Okulov versus
Oh, yeah.
Apti Okulov.
Yeah.
And Apti he just moved like, no one today moves like that.
Yeah, he's such an athlete.
He was like a ballerina.
Yeah. Just perfect.
Yeah.
But the whole Russian era was amazing.
It was a really cool era. They were an extremely good team.
The Russians were just like, it's hard to really grasp.
They were like China, but bigger.
Yeah. They were like the heavyweights. They're all pretty much 85 and above. I mean, like Chen, was small, but like
he's the only one.
Like they were like the Chinese are good, but like the Russians were like they almost invented weightlifting.
Yeah.
They just like they perfected it on a level of like really everything down to even the drugs, right? Everything was covered, and they were just great, and they were so strong, so much fun to watch.
Yeah, and like it's amazing to see Li Farbin hit 160 in the training hall, but it's cooler to see Klokov snatch 190 in the training hall.
Yeah. It's
It's
just
like the bigger guys. Sometimes it feels more impressive.
Yeah. There'd be imagine a Russian guy in the 102s. He'd be a guy going head to head with Li Wenhua.
Yeah.
He would be doing 185, 230 ish.
Yeah.
Like right there. It'd be the same kind of thing. It'd be
we haven't had a Russian super.
Oh
in
yeah,
so
forever.
long.
Yeah.
It's like I remember when they had at the same time. They had Albagov,
Yeah.
Lovchev, Chigashev,
Yeah.
and maybe not Chigashev. Well, yes, I meant Chingiz.
Magushkov.
Yeah, Chingiz Magushkov. Yeah. And like those three guys all snatched over 210.
Yeah.
And they could all clean jerk over 250.
Oh yeah.
And they would have to pick like one of them to
Yeah.
go to Worlds or something. And it's just like the depth.
Oh man.
They had Lapikov as well.
Yeah.
And all these guys doing 210 snatch doubles. And
Yeah.
you had Klokov, you had Akayev, Malagov.
Yeah.
Like they were so
Konstantinovs. Like you said, these guys that were just like some second tier
Assassins.
94. That's
Yeah.
like, just the most ridiculous looking specimen, and he's perfect technician. I remember there's a video of Roman Konstantinovs doing like a 170 snatch for 3 or 5 or something.
Yeah.
Something insane. You're just like, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
there are lifts that you see when you're younger that you want to explain to you want to show like your mum and be like, Mum, look, the world record is 188. Okulov hang snatch 190, he doubled 180.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
That's nice, dear. That's nice.
Yeah, and you're like, Mum, look at the, like, understand what I'm fucking saying. Like, 190.
Do you fucking get it, Mom? Do you fucking realize what's happening here? This is like parting of the Red Seas right now.
Hang. I mean,
Klokov's like 200 pause snatch in the training hall.
Because he did 200 hang in the 2014 training hall.
Yeah.
Then he goes to 2015 and he does it for like a 3-second pause.
That
is like almost, that should have been illegal
weightlifter Moggs weightlifting world championships.
Yeah. You can't go to an international and do that to them.
I guess it would be like Seminar Man Moggs world championship weightlifting training hall.
Yeah, Seminar Man. It's like when Trocti went to the, well, it's not quite, but went to the Trocti CrossFit Games and he power jerked 255.
Oh my
It's
God.
the heaviest power jerk I've ever seen on video.
Yeah.
I don't think do that.
I don't think anyone in that, I don't know if anyone there really could grasp the magnitude of that lift. He tried 260 there.
In many ways.
He tried 260. I mean,
because I can't let myself believe that one of the most impressive jerks ever on camera, maybe the most,
is a CrossFit,
was Taroxy the CrossFit competition. I won't have it.
That's so big. 255 power jerk.
And
I don't think that lift gets enough recognition.
He probably weighed 110.
Yeah.
That's
really wild.
That is wild.
Thinking about it now, actually, I'm like, 255.
I think peak Ilya out the rack at a CrossFit Games probably would have missed.
Yeah.
A split jerk at 255.
Yeah.
And he just...
What about the Ilya...
Oh, yeah, what were you going to say?
Ilya Akayev battle. That what happened was...
Ilya would smash him.
But Ilya was a 94.
Yeah.
Akayev was a 94.
Yeah.
Entered in the B session at the Olympics. Mm-hmm. After he had medaled in the previous Olympics.
Yeah, he medaled in 04 and 08.
And so he went 6 for 6.
Yeah.
And I think that would have been a battle that might have been maybe the closest in Ilya's career.
As in, if he was A session.
If they were both together in the A session.
Because Ilya wouldn't have known what to hit and he would have lifted more.
But also, I mean, Akayev was not like a cowardly kind of lifter.
No.
Like he's the kind of guy who probably would have put whatever he needed on the clean and jerk.
Yeah.
It might have been ugly as shit, but I would have been like, if he'd have made the clean, he's making the jerk. So that would have been an interesting battle. Yeah. I wish we'd have seen that. It's unfortunate it never happened because I think that was one of those moments of like, this is one guy that probably could have beat Ilya. Mm-hmm. And maybe that was the only one time he would have lost, but that would have been just one of those epic sessions.
I think another battle that I would have loved to have seen, they missed paths by a few years, was at 94, Ilya versus Sarab.
Oh, that would have been nuts.
I mean, they both did 233.
Yeah.
But Ilya made it look a bit better, but Sarab was a bit better in the snatch.
Yeah.
But then you think like that's the difference between a flash in the pan and an all-time great.
Yeah.
It's like Ilya did it his whole career.
Yeah, he never lost.
And Sarab came and went.
Yeah.
Quick.
Sarab to me...
Sarab was the one that got away. He had the potential to be like the GOAT.
Yeah, Sarab was to me like may have been the physically strongest weightlifter of all time. Yeah. Like pound for pound.
Yeah.
When
the
you really
Iranians, some of them just...
Yeah, you think about his numbers in training, like 205 at 94.
That is just
and despicable. Like we talk about Blagoev a lot, and he was a little smaller.
Yeah.
And he supposedly did the same number. Like he told us that he did the same number.
Did he tell us 205?
Yeah, he said 205 at 93.
Yeah.
And who knows what's true or not.
Sarab probably weighed close to 100 to be fair when he did it, but still.
But that, I mean, Blagoev was not doing 240.
No.
He said his best was 228. Right?
Yeah, 228, yeah.
So like you have this guy who's doing a 245 total, maybe weighing 100.
Oh, he did 242.
Sorry. Yeah, 242.
Yeah, so a 447 total.
Yeah. Insanity. Like that man was, and like there's a video of him squatting like, 300 for a pause squat. Like, yeah. Like on a, Tuesday morning or something, like some insignificant day. Like that to me is that we missed what he might have been able to do in a different generation or a different time. Yeah. Had he lifted in the 80s.
Yeah. Or had he and Ilya just been together and pushed each other?
Head to head. Oh, that would have been something different.
He looks good. I mean, I just saw a video of him. He did a 180 power clean and jerk. Then he just cleaned 200.
He retired. He's
Yeah,
retired.
and he
he's
back squatted
doing-
like 270, and I wonder if he's gonna.
Oh, that would
I
be
wonder if
cool.
he's just thinking like, empty worlds,
Gonna be a
Bahrain,
world champ again.
just go, yeah,
Yeah. Ooh, that would be really cool.
go in at 96 where it's not as competitive.
If Sarab Mirandi showed up in Bahrain as a 96, that would be that would be a treat.
Imagine if he does a full quad.
Oh, I wonder how old he is. Got to be close to 30s.
Yeah, he's younger than me, which is unbelievable. I'm
Wow.
31. I think he's like 29.
Wow. The
It's just like,
Iranian
how is that
Iranian
possible?
weather doesn't do you justice, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, that guy has been plumbing for 30 years. His kids got kids.
Oh man,
Yeah, that's a battle that would have been a good one.
it's such a crazy thing to imagine. Just like all of these, like the fact that we have this like library of just like these things that meant so much to us, these lifts, then like events.
But people have that now about this quad.
Yeah,
People who just got into the sport.
yeah, that's true.
They're like, oh, we never really got to see. I mean, what? Like Lesman versus.
Yeah.
Because he was never that. It's like
yeah, he never really showed
that's
up,
people's
right?
thing. What could he have done?
Yeah,
Yeah, he did
Well-
180, 189 or whatever.
like we talk about like whatever 2014 Almaty.
yeah.
They'll talk about the 73 Thailand
Oh.
World Cup, right? Like,
I mean, I have a group chat. I've obviously multiple, but like with Nick and Cody, because we have like when they're in the back room, they'll send messages through
Yeah.
to us, so we keep that chat going. Even now, every now and then, me or Nick will put in there. Can't believe that Rahmat lost.
yeah,
We'll still write it.
it's wild.
I'll just be thinking about it. I'll just post that. Like, I still can't believe that happened.
Mom, don't you get it? Like the
Rahmat
whole quad, he was ahead.
it. But the thing was, Mama, it was from the B session. He was always
He
I
had
mean-
35 seconds. Why would you only take 35 seconds, Mom? Mom, look, no, look.
She's like,
He's
that's nice, honey.
that's the stairs. He's sitting on the stairs, Mom.
He's supposed to go back there.
There's a whole back room
And
he
the
can
crazy
sit
thing
in.
is, that's his dad. He could have told him, "Don't go, son," and he didn't.
I mean, would you divorce Dad if he let me go out there?
Yeah,
and
would
do
you
that?
let me do that?
What would you do, Mom?
I need to know. Mum, that you wouldn't let me do that when I'm there, because I'm going to be there, and I might pull you up to be there with me. And if I'm going for that,
Can I trust you?
Yeah.
If I can't trust you, I'm not bringing you. I'm not bringing you to the world's, 2046. That's how you think, though.
yeah.
I remember showing my dad like cleaned 165,
Yeah.
and I
You showed him a video.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I have a video. I told
Yeah.
him.
Okay.
I was like, Dad, I cleaned 165,
Yeah.
and he was like, okay. Is that good? It's like,
Okay.
that's the most I've ever done.
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's nice.
Yeah.
It was so like, it was such a like,
Yeah.
yeah. It wasn't like he was mean or he just
No.
like didn't have any idea what was going on.
What I like is my dad, who you met.
Yeah.
He came out to the World Cup for 3 days, and he actually watched the 73s and the 89s live
With our
these
commentary,
very
yeah.
headsets on.
Yeah.
Sat next. It was like him, me, you. So he was
Yeah.
just listening. He had the best seat in the house, and he has basically never been to a gym or lifted any weights, and he just started a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like maybe 2 weeks before he came out, he started going to the gym, and he said he couldn't believe how heavy plates are. Like he'd never been.
That's
like
funny.
you look at this 25 here,
Yeah.
and it's like that can't be that heavy.
Yeah.
And then he would, have to. I think he's got up to like trap bar deadlifts at 60 or 70
Yeah.
kilos now. He's at for like a triple. No, maybe a set of 5 or something. Actually, no, a set of 8. I think he did, and he'll be listening, so I should get that right. But he said that being there and watching it, you can feel how much the weights don't want to move. That's
Yeah.
the way he said it. He's
That's
like,
a great way to say
he's
it.
like, he kept saying, I'm blown away by how much resistance there is to those bars being moved off the ground when you see a weightlifter do it. And now he has appreciation for one time actually, Charlotte's dad, he came here to a weightlifting house HQ, and he's never been to a gym obviously,
Yeah.
and he saw a barbell, and he reached over with one hand and he went to try and just pick it up, because I guess he just thought you could just go, just
Yeah.
it's not got
It's
any
not
weight
heavy,
on it,
yeah.
and obviously it didn't move. And I think for regular people who've not been to the gym, Like you telling your dad you did 165. It's like,
It means nothing.
it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Like, but as soon as you say, try and move this 25, and someone like pushes it, like it doesn't budge, and then you go, yeah. So there's basically 3 on each side is what
Yeah.
I did. Then it's suddenly like, what the hell?
Yeah. I think it's one of those things too where you're like, if you were to say, okay, pick that up, and they feel like, now a man's lifted 10 times that.
Yeah.
You can't even wrap your mind around it.
No.
Like you might deadlift, someone, might deadlift 250 or 260, but like, or even 225, but to imagine somebody actually like picking it up, like cleaning it
Yeah.
as like a pretty regular sized person.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, it's so funny that we think about it. And like, we talked about this the other day, like we think about like watching a lift, and when you're first into it, you're like, oh, it's a 185 with Ilya Ilin power clean 200 as a, whatever 105 or 94. And you're like, yeah, it's one thing. Then you think about how insane that is. Like just the strength levels of the athletes is just so mind boggling.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah. To get people to grasp that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he really enjoyed it, being at it. He'd never seen any live weightlifting.
I mean, got the two of the best
Two of the
sessions to ever happen.
Yeah.
73 and the 89s.
I mean, that 70, he like flew in 2 hours before. He got to the venue 15 minutes before.
Yeah.
I went out and grabbed him, and then it was like, okay, headphones on, and then we just start, and it just turns into this like, we're like yelling.
Yeah.
At one point, I didn't even realize he was so like impressed by our commentary. And just so, I think he felt like really proud to be there.
That's got to be cool.
He turned and he was just filming us as we're like yelling because we were so invested. We were like,
that's cool.
And so he took video of us just to send to like his friends and be like, and because he's from China, so like seeing the Chinese, seeing Xiaojun for him was like a massive thing.
Yeah.
He's not Chinese, but he lives there and works there. And he was so like, I want to get a photo of Xiaojun. I'll show him like all the teachers and the people I know in China. They'll be like, wow.
That's cool.
Yeah, he loved it. Like seeing Tian Tao, seeing Li Dayan.
That's got to be pretty cool to have sat there and to be like,
it was fun.
To appreciate, like, you might not know everything that's going on, but appreciate the quality of a commentary it is. Like he can follow along with it.
Well,
it's also
he listens to literally every podcast.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he doesn't watch the live competition because he can't get it in China.
Right.
But he listens. He's a big podcast guy. Like we listen to similar podcasts. And he always listened to Weightlifting House.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he doesn't understand weightlifting really.
Right.
But like, he knows who Quo's he knows Quo.
Yeah.
Or he knows Carlos, knows Lasher.
Yeah,
understands that they're doing well or they're not doing well.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Saar has just set a Snatch world record. Only just, but he does make it.
Red bar's now 184. Solid.
Fights through on jerk. Can't drop your back knee any lower than that. Become the number 2 ranked 102 in the world if he makes this lift. Gets under the bar.
Look at that save. What a
He
fight.
holds it.
Which is, there's very few fans like that.
Yeah, that's actually cool.
Like
I wonder.
fans.
I wonder how much the commentary makes it accessible to people that are sort of fair weather fans. Maybe they just kind of know of weightlifting or what it is.
I think it's really important for
if
them.
the commentary really would help bring them in.
Yeah.
Like you could watch and be like, okay, like I can follow along because I feel like there's so much of a depth of knowledge too about the history of people.
Yeah.
Like, I think our sort of like sometimes comical. Some people will have like 10 DQs, right?
Yeah,
And so they're like, well, she did this number, but now she's way down or whatever. But like to be able to say like, well, he won Europeans, but then this other guy passed him at Worlds.
Yeah.
And now we're here and they're battling, and like to pull someone in to where like you suddenly within the span of 15 seconds have all the context you need to know how important this next lift is. It's like the only thing. It's the only way you can make the sport accessible to people that don't follow it.
Totally. Yeah, we've got we've got this gap now, but there's the Olympics. We'll be doing unofficial commentary. From the UK. We'll be doing like a watch party basically.
Yeah, watch party.
Where we're going to sit and watch it and talk about it and we'll stream that for everybody. We'll do a wrap up show as well. Which we'll put on Weightlifting House TV, something like that. But then, I mean, we've got Bahrain for Worlds.
Yep.
And then I don't remember where everything is, but I know that the next few World Championships, it's something like Bahrain, Norway, China, Venezuela, and
Yerevan.
Armenia.
Yeah.
Yerevan, yeah.
That's 2028, right?
Yeah,
Seven.
it's something like the next five are all written
Yeah.
out. I can't remember the exact. I mean, I know that it's Bahrain and then Norway, but then between China, Venezuela, and Armenia, I don't know the order.
Yeah.
But that's going to be cool.
Yeah, that'd be really nice.
I think we're in Moldova for the Asian for the
Euros,
European
yeah.
Champs next year.
We don't know the Asians yet.
I don't. You know what? Asians is one of those ones where, like, if it's in a cool place,
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah.
If it's not, it's not.
It's funny because Asians is one of those meets that could be wildly successful.
Yeah.
Or kind of not let down, but just like an underwhelming event.
Yeah.
Just depending on who's going to show up. If China's there, Kazakhstan has a good team, Uzbekistan's strong. Like that's fun. That's a good battle. But if China sends like a C team or the college team or whatever they have,
Yeah. No, there's no Asians dated yet.
Yeah.
There's like World Junior Champs in Uzbekistan and World Youth Champs in Peru, but I think there's a fair amount of sort of Pan American style competitions that happen in Peru.
Yeah, they've
They've
done a
got
few
the
there.
Bolivarian Games as well next year.
Yeah, I would say it'd be worth doing one.
Yeah,
Simply for the excuse to make a trip to like Machu Picchu afterward.
that'll be cool. Yeah,
Yeah, we did that
Yeah.
a couple years back, and it was
Oh,
awesome
nice.
experience. That'd be a fun weightlifting house
yeah,
journey. Do a competition, then take the train to Aguas Calientes and
Yeah,
go up
Los
to Machu
Calientes?
Picchu.
Is that
That's
what it's
the
called?
name of the little city right below
Is it?
Machu Picchu. Yeah.
I just know that as the hot sauce
Oh,
from Hot Ones, which I've tried before. Yeah,
yeah. It's a cool little city.
Yeah.
It's a little town, but
I just saw. So China is 2026, Ningbo.
okay. So then it'd
Which
be
is-
China, Venezuela, or no, China, Yerevan, then Venezuela.
Yes, which would make China. Wow, China Worlds will be the first qualifying event,
Oh, that'll be big.
and China's going to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's Yerevan 27, so it's Venezuela.
Oh man, that's gonna be insane because China and Yerevan are gonna be the place to do it.
So Venezuela's going to be a few months after the Olympics then.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah,
that would be.
and that
one.
might get moved.
I could see it moved.
That
yeah.
feels like a strange place to.
Well, the U.S. didn't even want to go.
They wouldn't even go.
They couldn't go, so I can imagine that.
Would you
be-
go?
I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yeah,
That might be one I would skip.
you might have to call in.
Yeah, I'd have to find out if that's like what
I'll go
the deal
Josh
is.
for that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's expendable.
Yeah,
I mean, I probably would go. I mean, it just depends.
yeah,
It's like who knows what's going to happen with
yeah,
it. But
yeah. Yeah, I mean, actually, total topic change. But speaking of Josh, I sent him like a 10-minute voice message this morning. I was just like, let's get back to regular communication.
yeah,
Like, because we were at a point where we would every day we'd send like multiple several-minute voice messages to each
Yeah.
other. We did it for so long, and then I think normally it's I go to a competition and my schedule gets screwed,
yeah,
and we just stop, and then we just have to re-engage. So I sent him a message. I was like, I had one from him, like a 10-minute voice message. I listened to that, sent him one. I was like, let's do it more regularly. They
Yeah.
can be shorter. Let's break it down. Just
Yeah.
keep it going.
nice.
Yeah, because he said that I think he had a bunch of competitions that he was doing recently.
Yeah, he's been coaching a lot.
He said he was going to start a weightlifting club at is it the local high school or
Yeah, I think he
something like that?
he does like strength and conditioning for the high school.
Yeah, he does.
As part of the
he's doing his
university program.
coaches. Yeah, he's said he's going to do some data collection this summer,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and then
Yeah.
next summer I think he wants to do a little bit more of the coaching side of things or something.
Yeah.
But he's now. When did he start his PhD? Was it this
Last
September?
year.
Yeah, so September. So he's coming up on finishing his first full academic year.
Yeah.
How long is it?
I think it's 3.
Oh,
I couldn't.
I mean, that is such a. I feel like in this day and age, people find it harder and harder to make longer and longer commitments to things.
Yeah.
I would struggle to make a decision that is 3 years of my life and takes up most of my life.
Yeah.
I'd struggle with that.
Yeah. I mean, that's a
'Cause it-
a lot of commitment.
It's the opportunity cost.
Yeah, that's
is
true.
what it is. I think it's like there's so many other things that could rear their head and say, do you want to do this? And your answer is no. And then you've also got this sunk cost coming into it where you're like, that seems like a great thing, but I've already done 2 years of this.
Yeah.
I can't. And it's like,
Yeah.
That's tough. It's impressive that he's doing it, and he's also holding down, coaching and everything on the side.
Yeah, he's a very hard worker.
He is a hard worker.
Always doing stuff.
Yeah. He's one of those guys where if you go and hang out with him for a bit, and then it's like 11 p.m., it's like time to go to bed, he'll get his laptop out and do programming.
Start working, yeah.
Yeah. Which I don't do anymore, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at some point, it'll be very rare for you even to do that, I think.
That's the goal. You get to a point where you're making bigger choices that have bigger impact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very likely that you'll end up having coached like more weightlifters than anyone ever.
I mean, I guess
through the AI.
Through the
That's what
AI,
I mean,
I could see that.
Yeah, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's exciting. Exciting times ahead.
For sure.
I think a lot of cool stuff's going to happen over the next few years for all of us.
Yeah, I mean, it has. When you think about like 20, who was I saying this to the other day? I was talking about this. Like, I first met you on the podcast in 2017. I think we did our first one, and and then 2 years we did a few, and 2 years after that, I came out to California and we met.
Yeah, 2019.
And I remember you were talking to me about this idea of weightlifting AI back then.
Yeah.
You were mulling it over. Like,
Yeah.
this could be amazing.
Yeah.
And I even have a video. I don't think it ever got posted. I got the file of it on my laptop upstairs of you explaining to me this idea. Maybe I'll show you it.
Really?
You might
That's
be
funny.
really interested to see.
That's funny.
2019 you. And then, we do a few more podcasts, and then 2.5 years later, 2.5 years? 1.5 years later, you fly out.
Yeah.
And we launch Weightlifting AI.
Yeah. It's funny, huh?
And then we do our first commentary, and now we commented on every major meet for a whole quad. And now we end the quad, and it's like AI 2.0 is coming.
Yeah.
A lot has happened.
I remember there was a moment when you came to California, and we were sitting in the chairs I have by the record player. Those big green chairs by the windows.
Yeah.
And
when I came in 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember saying something, and we were just like having some random conversation about numbers or lifters.
Uh-huh.
And I made reference. I was like, "Oh, that would be like Pavel Kuznetsov," and you were like, "Oh, like that you would know that name."
Yeah.
Was like such a funny thing.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking to myself, like,
there's only like 2 people in the world
Yeah.
who you could mention Pavel Kuznetsov to.
yeah, but just that there's 2 people in the world that would know it and care about it is like, and it's probably really like the 2 of us.
Yeah.
And maybe some like, old time guys that were
Couple.
there.
Bud Charniger.
Yeah. Bud Charnigan, our biggest fan.
Oh yeah. We love Bud.
But that was that moment of like, oh yeah, this guy is like on the same level as me, like the same wavelength. Like, we're into weightlifting way too much, like to where you would like. I mean, I've been at these meets, and sometimes I'll watch old videos, like old meet footage, while commentary.
Yeah.
Like after commentary, then go and watch like
Yeah,
the
you do. Yeah, you do
82
that.
worlds. For some reason, it's just
Yeah.
like I can't like get out of my head. Like, oh, what's going on here? Like, what happened there?
Yeah, you do that actually.
That's weird.
That's cool.
It's kind of funny, but like, I can't think of anyone I could think of that would be that into it.
Right. Yeah, well, we've spoken a lot about the different ways that people are into weightlifting.
Yeah.
And like, some people are like, they love lifting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people are like the Chinese fanboys.
Yeah.
But they're kind of silly with their weightlifting, but they love watching Team China.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people just love tuning in and watching. Some people, like Josh, his relationship with weightlifting is almost entirely via programming and coaching.
Yeah, he loves the science of it.
He loves the science of it.
Yeah.
It's totally. You could have 2 people who say I love weightlifting, and they wouldn't be able to get along.
Yeah, that's true. Huh?
Like, if Nick and Josh had a chat,
yeah,
they share no commonality.
They're on very opposite ends of the spectrum.
Like, I say to Nick, I challenge him all the time. I go, "Who's the number 7th ranked 59 in the world?" And he'll just it'll take a while, and he'll be like, it's not this person because she's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and I'll be like, yeah. So like I sort of help him along.
Yeah.
But then he'll be like, it's Nina Starks,
Yeah.
even though it's not. She's 7 to 49, but whatever. And like, but that language is Josh has no idea who Nina Starks is.
Yeah.
But then Josh would be like, what variation is good for this?
Yeah.
And Nick would be like, I don't know. I just do what the AI says.
Yeah.
Like they have no. And then Dan is even more different. He's like, his way in is almost via the rules, like understanding the rules and the judging, and then just having watched so many DCB sessions.
It's such an interesting. It's so interesting. There's that many different
different avenues.
If you were to take bubbles of people's interests, so many of them don't intersect.
Yeah.
Like people that just love lifting, that maybe never get out of like the local meet level, have maybe never even seen international weightlifting.
Yeah.
And then you take other people who are at a level of like maybe national level competition or making a international team, and they might not be aware of any of the the other lifters. And then you have people that are coaches that love coaching and all this, but have whatever, are also giant fans of the sport.
Yeah.
And then it's like, or you have people that are like whatever, super into the science of training and biomechanics, all this stuff, but like don't know who Tien Tao is, right? I mean, it's probably a little more rare, but like their passion's not in all of it, right? To have those people that are like encompass the entire thing, that big circle, is super rare. It's probably a couple of people.
It's funny. I watched a clip from you and Josh from a podcast where you're talking about what happened in the 73s.
Yeah.
And I could tell Josh had no idea what had happened and was learning about it from you as you were kind of explaining it again. And he had quite a blank face. And then as soon as you said a line that was like, me, you, Seb, we've all seen we know what a heavy clean looks like.
Yeah.
Suddenly he could engage and be like,
yeah,
I'm back switched in because I know you've said Seb, you said we know what a heavy clean is like.
Yeah.
And then it re-engaged him in the story.
Yeah.
And I watched it a few times. I showed Nick and Cody, and they saw it as well. It's like he's like when you're saying, this guy comes out, he's been the best clean and jerker.
Yeah.
He's got to beat Rizky. Josh is just like doesn't know what's happening.
Yeah.
And then you say that, and he's like, I'm in. I'm back in.
That's a good
heavy clean.
I could look at that entire moment from every lens. Like I've done it not at that level, but I know what that feels like.
You've coached.
I've coached at that level and been like, I know what it feels like to be the coach.
Yeah.
And then from like, the perspective of a commentator to like be watching it and feeling like knowing the drama of what's going on, but also just from a fan's perspective of like,
this is
how important this is, right?
Yeah.
Like you can see that perspective, and even like, the training science, like what's he doing? Well, why was he, was he in shape, whatever, his training, like all of that can be wrapped up and like you can feel it from so many different places, right?
We've got like a full yummy meal.
Yeah.
We got the potatoes and the veg and the meat. Josh has just got like...
It's a full roast dinner, Sunday roast.
You had your first proper roast
did.
yesterday.
First proper roast, compliments of Dan Kent.
Yeah, with Yorkshire pudding, which you found out was not pudding.
Definitely not pudding.
It's not pudding.
Quite delicious, though.
It's funny, I would never have thought that you could think that was pudding because I don't hear the pudding part. It's just Yorkshire pudding.
Oh, interesting.
It's not like... I would never think that's a sweet thing.
Is it spelled like Pudding, or is it? Okay. If it was like a T or something, maybe that'd be different.
Yeah. And what did you have, beef or lamb or?
Beef. Yeah, it was very good.
They do a good roast.
Yeah.
They roasted some veg as well, I'm guessing.
They roasted an enormous amount of food.
That's what I've noticed about having a roast with them is
what I would describe.
They're like 6 types of vegetables, all roasted very well.
They had cauliflower cheese, roasted parsnips, roasted potatoes, carrots, some onions with yogurt in them.
What?
Or like maybe cream.
Oh, right. Interesting.
And then...
There could have been broccoli.
No, there was no broccoli, but then there was mashed potatoes as well.
What?
Yeah, it was...
As well as the roast potatoes?
It was like a Thanksgiving dinner. like for like an American Thanksgiving dinner. It was just like...
He might have told you this already, but this is one of the most Dan Kent things ever. They've done like one roast every weekend
Yeah.
for something like
52 weeks.
Well, they already completed the year, and they're like on the next year now. Their goal is to like never miss a week.
That's just such an interesting endeavor in life.
Yeah, they've like befriended the local butchers now.
Yeah,
and they get good deals on meat.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, 52 roasts a year has got to be
like 52. And have you seen it? Did you see when you were staying there all the sheep nearby? Just in the
on
fields
the
down
way
road?
out in the field. Yeah,
It's like I think they just grab lambs.
yeah, they just
hop the fence and just kidnap lambs.
grab one, take it in, butcher it in the backyard.
Yeah,
in the neighbor's yard. They have an interesting easement into their house. You have to go through the back.
but what I saw you guys do that. You went through like the neighbor's garden.
It's like you go through the neighbor's
which I've done before, but
backyard.
I was just going through the front door. Why weren't you using the front door?
I don't know. They just went in the back. That's just
I
how
saw
we were
you
going
do it,
in,
and I was
yeah.
thinking, why aren't you using the front door?
Oh, interesting.
Because that is the way in. That I've been.
it might have been
like,
blocked off because I
nonstop.
was staying in the front room.
So they just didn't use the door.
Yeah, there was a chair and stuff in front of it.
Oh,
is
right.
my guess, so we couldn't go in.
You blocked it off.
It was my fault. Yeah,
That's so odd.
it was an interesting deal. I'm very impressed with the English countryside.
Yeah, you've enjoyed that.
I've
I'm
really-
glad that you've been able to see it a bit.
Because the
Although you've
first
not
time
been
I was
out in
here,
it, but you've seen it. Kind
the
of
first time I was here is in Birmingham proper,
in the
and
centre,
it was
yeah.
kind of like it's
very busy.
a city, not bad,
Yeah.
but it's nothing special or nothing
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
But this has been like being at his house and
Yeah,
seeing that and the needle makers is
The pub.
it's
the
fun.
local pub.
It's like a nice experience to
It's a very
be in
pubby
there.
pub.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's the sort of pub that not a lot of people get a chance to visit.
yeah,
Because it's a little bit more working class than the pubs that are near me, which
Yeah.
are a lot more middle class, like where like the local farmer might pop down to.
Right.
Whereas Dan's is like, it's just construction and that sort of stuff, and the guys in there are different.
yeah.
But it's really fun.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's a fun pub.
It's been a really interesting, it's cool to see that because you get a little glimpse of this. Like, okay, now I know kind of the experience I want to have when we come for the Olympics.
Yeah.
Is to let's get a little Airbnb.
Well, you said an Airbnb down near where I am.
Yeah,
or
kind of where
something.
you guys are at. So you have
Go
that
to-
little more in the daytime. Maybe go
Yeah.
for a walk in the fields and then
We can take Nala out for a walk.
yeah,
and
I think that'll be
Yeah.
very fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be a good time.
go sit at the pub. There'll be a fire going, although not in the summer, I guess.
No.
But like another thing in the UK that's huge is beer gardens.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
You have to have pubs have gardens out the back with, benches,
Right,
wooden
right.
benches, and it's just like a cultural thing that you go sit in the beer garden in the summer,
Right.
and you drink in the sun.
Oh, that makes
and
sense.
it's just wonderful.
Oh, that sounds great.
I've already been to I guess we kind of went to that one in Spoons together,
Yeah.
but prior to that I went. It's normally it's on grass.
Yeah.
So you're sitting on a nice wooden bench on the grass, and you just drink pints, and you all hang out. It's so nice.
Oh, that's cool.
We'll have to do a bit of that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think the Olympics is going to be
Fun.
I'm excited because we're going to try some different things.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like the
yeah.
idea of it's a good way to experiment and try like a post-show or
Yeah,
pre-show, and it'd be kind of neat to give having Nick on too will be awesome because I think Nick's going to bring way more knowledge to it that maybe fans or that follow us aren't aware that he
Yeah,
has
yeah.
because I think he'll be a very good addition.
Yeah.
He has a good just a good knowledge of the people themselves too.
He corrects me on things, which I don't feel like anyone else really does.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know, then it sounds like I know, but I might make a mistake. I'll be
Yeah,
like, well,
yeah.
they hit this at the last comp, and he'll be like, no, they didn't. Yeah. So that's good. That's good to have.
That's good. Yeah.
And I kind of want to see about building him up into being more of like a on mic
Yeah.
talent.
He could be a good commentator if he enjoys it.
It's just a confidence thing that you will get past. But
Yeah.
he's got so much knowledge, and he's such a fun person.
Yeah.
And friendly, and got a lot of good banter that I think he could make
Yeah.
it work.
Yeah, you could put him maybe at a junior or something like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
to
yeah,
start
see
him
how he
off and
does.
get him some confidence.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Build a little team up.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it'd be nice to have those competitions at Weightlifting House TV and be able to have some commentary, but
Yeah.
it not be us.
Yeah.
It's just too much
Send
for us
it
to
to
go
Pan
to.
Am's.
Fly him out to Venezuela. Yeah.
Here's a bulletproof vest.
Yeah, good luck. See you in
Yeah.
a bit. All right, let's wrap this up. I have
Yeah.
no idea how long this one's been. It felt like a longer one, but
I
it was
feel like it was a few hours.
it was like a Joe Rogan episode. I have no idea. Hour and a half, maybe? Something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
All right, well, guys, thanks for tuning in. And, we'll catch you on the next one.